Hello friends, this is Suresh Makineedi. Welcome again to Future Vision. In the last video, I had established few rules about when to enter long-term investments, when to hold, and when to exit those long-term investments, based on values of 4 Purusharthas. Based on those established rules, I am going to predict ups and downs of Nifty 50 for next 20 years from year 2020 to 2040. If you had not watched my last video, then watch it now, so that you can catch how I am predicting based on those 4 Purusharthas. Future vision is all about predicting the future, based on certain rules which are framed in scientific way. I had tried my best to frame few rules in scientific manner based on 4 Purusharthas. You all know that I had presented that research work in my previous videos. So these videos are proof that there is confirmed relationship between Vedic astrology and stock market movements. We can predict long-term movements of stock market based on simple concepts of Vedic astrology. Let me first establish long-term trends of stock market for next 20 years. Then we can focus on how to predict short trends and intraday trends. Okay, now let's focus on our main purpose of this video, which is to predict long-term trend of Nifty 50 for next 20 years. Look at this picture. This picture shows charts of 4 Purusharthas prepared in Excel sheet from year 2020 to year 2040. We know that Nifty 50 can either form low, or it can break out, or it can continue previous uptrend, or it can fall sharply, only when one of the 4 Purusharthas crosses above value of 80 mark. So now let's find out which Purushartha crosses above value of 80 mark first. We can see that Artha Trikona does it first, between March of year 2020 and Jan of year 2022, as shown here. We know that this indicates buying opportunity for long-term investors. We had seen that there was excellent recovery of stocks, from 28th of March of year 2020, and, till this date, of course, there is still opportunity, till the end of this year, for long-term investors, in order to accumulate quality stocks, which are still underperforming. We know that whenever Artha Trikona values are rising means, there are buying opportunity for long-term investors, who are patiently watching for bottom fishing. So, I feel, between March of year 2020 to Jan of year 2022, is an excellent period for long-term investments. Okay, now that we had invested our capital as long-term investments in stock market, now the question is, when to exit those long-term investment positions. To answer this question, we had already established a rule when to exit in previous video. Did you remember it? Yes, you are right. We can exit when Dharma Trikona value crosses above 80 mark. From this picture, we can see that, between March of year 2028 and January of year 2030, value of Dharma Trikona is above value of 80 mark. So this is the period when we should get caution and start profit booking in our long investments on every rise. So we can predict that the bull rally which started last year, in the month of March 2020, should continue till the end of year 2029. So, if you are a long-term investor and believe in this theory of 4 Purusharthas and its relation to Nifty 50, which is based on scientific research work, then stay invested till the end of year 2029. Okay, then, what about Kama and Moksha Trikona values? We had already established in previous video that these two Trikonas indicates continuation of an uptrend. We had also discussed that during period of Kama Trikona, we can see a long consolidation at higher levels and then a breakout. And during period of Moksha Trikona also we can see continuation of the uptrend, but with so many ups and downs. Here, every dip is a buying opportunity for short-term positional traders. Look at the picture now. We can see that between March of year 2022 to March of year 2025, Kama Trikona values are above 60 mark, which indicates that, during this period we can see long consolidation till March of year 2025, and then there will be a breakout of that consolidation. And between March of year 2025 to May of year 2027, we can see that Moksha Trikona values are above 80 mark. So during this period, we can witness continuation of uptrend, but with many ups and downs. Every dip is a buy during this period, for short-term positional traders. Long-term investors can hold their positions with patience. High volatility during this period can test their patience. Summary of Nifty movements between year 2020 to year 2030 is as follows. Between March of year 2020 to March of year 2022, there is buying opportunity for long-term investors. During this period, a solid base will be formed for latest bull market. We will witness strong buying with heavy volumes. Then between March of 2022 to March of year 2025, for 3 years, we will witness long consolidation. This consolidation will be at higher levels within a range, with slight corrections in each stock. Then, we can see a fresh breakout of that long consolidation, after March of year 2025. Next, between March of year 2025 to May of year 2027, we will witness continuation of the uptrend. During this period we will witness sharp falls, followed by sharp pullbacks. So every dip is a buy during this period. Some falls can get support at previous breakout zones. And finally, between May of year 2027 to January of year 2030, we should become cautious. Anytime during this period, we can witness sharp fall after sharp rise. A bubble can form. So, on every rise, we must book profits. Better to exit long-term investments during this period. So, that's conclude. How is Nifty 50 movements between year 2020 to end of year 2029? Okay, then what about Nifty movements from beginning of year 2030 to year 2040? Well, it's interesting to watch that the previous cycle from year 2020 to year 2030 will repeat again. But this time magnitudes of either fall or rise will be more. 110 years back in year 1929, there was huge crash of stock markets, which was called as Great Depression. Similar to that kind of crash is seen between beginning of year 2030 to year 2031. Of course, this is again long-term buying opportunity for the patient investors. A quick summary of stock markets between year 2030 to 2040 will be like this. Between January of year 2039 to May of year 2032, there is buying opportunity for long-term investors. During this period, a solid base will be formed and will be the beginning of a new bull market. Then between May of 2032 to February of year 2034, we will witness consolidation. Then, we can see a fresh breakout of that consolidation. Next, between February of year 2034 to June of year 2036, we will witness continuation of the uptrend. But, with many ups and downs, near previous breakout levels. And then, between June of year 2036 to June of year 2039, we should see sharp rally. Of course, this is the time when we should become cautious. Anytime during this period, we can witness sharp fall, following that sharp rise. So on overall we will witness two long-term bull markets between year 2020 to year 2040. Dear friends, that's it from my side. I tried my best to predict long-term trend of stock markets for next 2 decades up to year 2040. You all know that I did not predict it based on guesswork or using my intuition, but based on few rules which are derived scientifically from basic concepts of Vedic astrology. So, I predicted based on those rules only. As a human being, I tried my best. Rest, Creator only knows what will happen. If you feel that this video was very useful to you for future guidance of entry and exit timings for long-term investments, then do not forget to share this video to your friends and also to as many people as possible so that they can also benefit from this video. That way, you can help me for my selfless activity. Thanks a lot for watching. God bless you all. Suresh Makineedi, signing off now.